By the way, kasi wala gapon sa atong activity nga.
Si Kabigon, sir.
Oh, si
Kaya
Kakas.
Mr. Kabigon.
Kani ang line ng debate ka ako, sir, wala ko nakatungak sa kusbitugan sa mama kay
Sorry, hindi na lang katambal. So, importante kayo nung atong alaga ng health is because our subject is all about physical education.
Yes, sir.
Right? Tama ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, before I'm going to start, siguro mag-pray sa siguro tanong, dapat natin open with prayer. Okay, who will volunteer to pray?
Give, sir.
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 Biblical.
Sige na, Mr. Reyes. Okay, so can you stand up? Let's pray everyone, stand up.
So let us pray in the power of the Son of the Spirit. Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for everything that you gave us to us. Thank you for namin din karon at lawa na nabing mo ang classmate ng tayo. Taganin mo siya og another strength or another knowledge na makakuha sa iyang mga din. This is my prayer for you.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, you may take your seat. Thank you, Mr. Reyes.
Sir.
Okay, so before you go sa akong topic, mag-attendance ako sa inyo. Okay?
Sir.
So, for those who are here, please stay present if you are. Okay, so first, Mr. Bagayna,
Sir, present, sir.
Mr. Kim Ryan Reyes,
Present, sir.
Miss Serada.
Sir, present.
Okay, how about Mr. Cabigon? Okay, next, Miss Sumandar.
Present, sir.
How about Miss Cagas? Where is she?
Release
She's
na
not
siya
around.
ng klase, sir.
Today,
Siya-
Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Wala.
she's not coming
Oh.
for us.
Nagpaano siya, sir? DLBM.
LB, yes sir.
LBM.
Itakigan,
Oh,
party.
mga anak sir.
Sige ka siyang party.
Juan, tangyan din yung sa ako, sir. Text-text mo, sir. Ano siya, sir? DLBM na siya. Kinasi, ikap, nalain, butang pagkain. Tingnan sa pag iinom na tubig.
Halo-halo
sir.
halo-halo ng
Zero.
sana.
Yes. So that is very important kayo know as a physical education student, you should be aware kung sino yung pagkaon.
Yes.
Siyempre, para po sa benefits sa alam mo, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so since atong subject physical education, and gapo na-perform tayong mga activities, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay, so siguro ka ba na tanong si mga kasi na sports?
Yes, sir.
Kaya mo review
Yes, sir.
naka-perform na ba mo mga sports ninyo?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Badminton, sir.
Badminton.
Volleyball.
My favorite game is chess.
Basketball sir.
Kasi yung mga position ninyo sa mga sports. Ikaw, Miss Sumandar.
Pwede ba
Master,
Are you kuan, libero or spiker or center?
Kung meron na siya.
Spiker, so may kung
Yes.
spike ko.
May
Ah.
Sige, so okay, since we are talking about sports, kaya ba naman tanong nga sports atong ilang nga sports is kana ang perform ta di ba? Atong
Yes, sir.
kasagar nakita is kana ang maayong dula, like
Sir.
complete package kay sila tan-aw, maayos sila perform o kana ang klase-klase nga sports. But today, lahi siya, lahi atong i-tackle nga lahi siya mga klase nga mga athletes. Okay, which is tagsa na to siya madugar, tagsa na to siya makita.
Sir.
Okay,
Excited
so
ako, sir.
sige, so mag-start na
Let's
tayo.
go. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so we are going to tackle about Paralympics. Okay, from the word Paralympics, no idea? Say
Sir.
Paralympics. Okay,
Uh,
learn na
For
kayo.
my own idea, sir, is from the word para, Olympics, what we call it para, kanang 6 lang letters or para, or which is the paralyzed. So this ano na siya mga athletes which is the kaniyang mga disabled na tao.
Very good. How about the others? Have we share or other knowledge about Paralympics?
Copy paste.
Wala na? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. So, proceed na ta. Now, ato na din i-discuss kung unsa gid ang Paralympics. Okay, di ba? So, magulo na to sa Paralympics pero para sa itong lisod kay ilang situation, no?
Yes.
So, na panggulag basketball if ever kung full
Disabled
sila.
sila.
O disabled
Yes.
sila. May ana. So, Paralympics is actually a series of international contests for athletes with disabilities, katong yung pala ni Mr. Cabigon, that are associated with and held the following summer and winter Olympic Games. So mostly, ga-perform po din sila sa Olympic Games. Diba kasi ganito makita sa Olympic Games ng mga kanang kompleto ng mga tao like sila mga disabilities. Pero, usahay makalimutan, makaperform din sila na. Which is wrong. Dapat, dito sila i-judge din. Pinagay mo sila capacity or capability na makaperform. Yes, na sila potential na makaperform yung mga activities like Olympics. So next, sport for athletes with an impairment has existed for more than 100 years. So dugi-dugi na siya, 100 years na. And the first sports club for the DF were already in existence in 1888 in Berlin. When you say DF, mga bungol. Mga bungol ng mga athletes. Okay, so nga nag-exist man sila mga athletes, anong most tinatingalan ng anong ng situation? Okay, so it was not until after World War II, however, that it was widely introduced. The purpose of it at that time was to assist the large number of war veterans and civilians who had been injured during wartime. So mostly kasagara mga veterano ang apektuhan sa war ng World War II. Especially ang mga civilians na apil ka po sa mga normal ng mga people at mga time. Di ba? So kung ikaw kung bali mabuk na gubong bali baka mapungkol yan, baka makuha. So that is why we are so thankful sa ating panahon karon medyo kalma-kalma atong lugar diri ano. So next. Okay, so dili na ta para archery. Ang first sport atong itakol is about para archery. So what do you mean by archery? Makita ko sa picture no?
Pana.
Like,
Pana.
Are using bow and arrow.
Okay, very good. Bow and arrow yun na ang main equipment na ginagamit pag mag-archery ta. Sige, so what is para archery? Okay, Mr. Bagana, can you please read the first sentence?
Para archery is the discipline for athletes classified with a physical or visual impairment.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, what tingin mo, no? Ang para-archery, sila kasagaran na sila visual impairment, sila kita, na mga blind or even na kung kulay kamot. Di ba, sama sa first line na nakita, di ba nakita mo sa model?
Yes, sir.
Wala siya kamot
Kamot.
na para-athletes. Okay, ako itakol unya, kinsa na siya. Okay, so, next stanza, can you please read Mr. Reyes?
So the rules for targets, competition format, and match play are the same as for the college archery and indoor archery disciplines. In addition to the recurve and compound categories, para archery also has a W1 category for athletes with a severe impairments and visually impaired.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kim Reyes. So, matiging mo, no, ang rules nila is to play same as the target archery, same as the normal ng mga athletes, di ba? So, they can actually perform indoor archery or even target archery in which magamit sila Mr.
Bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow. So, sa bow and arrow, natin gitawag na recurve and compound. So, duha na siya kaklase sa anong ginagamit ng equipment. So, next, para archers often use assistive devices. So, when we say assistive devices, medyo modern na siya, modernized na siya mga devices. Such as custom draw or release aids, mount tops or wheelchairs to level the playing field. Classified athletes may also compete with able-bodied athletes in target archery events using their assistive devices. So, since kaya balo mang tanga disabled sila, dili sila maka-perform kung wala yung mga assistive devices na gagamiton. Okay, next. So, for the overview of para-archery, the object of the sport is simple: to shoot arrows as close to the center of a target as possible and aim for the gold ring. Athletes shoot from a distance of 50 or 70 meters, following competition procedures and rules that are nearly identical to those used in able-bodied competition. So, mo to siya ilang ginabuhat. They will able to shoot sa ilang target in which na sila yung mga limitations ng pagkabuhat ng is kabalo sa self na kanaang na sila kakulang mo. So, through these assistive devices, they can able to perform o tarong gihapon, same as a level sa mga tao normal mga athletes. So, athletes compete, athletes compete with both recurve bows, so kasi na siya sa bows. Recurve bows distinctive as the limbs curve towards at the top, and compound bows which feature mechanically pulleys, telescopic sights, and release aids to assist in accuracy. So, para makita niyo ang klase sa mga bows na ginagamit, so, ano siya? Okay, so this is the essence of the sport. Di ba nakita niyo sa image? Mostly, ang naandan nga makita is kani siyang recurve. Ang recurve, kani recurve ano siya kanang mga traditional nga bow at ang gigamit sa mga para archers. Okay, so there are 9 events in 3 main categories. The recurve open, the compound open, and W1. When we say W1, ano sila wheelchair, mga player ba? Wheelchair 1. Okay, na may mga players nga, lingkod, gagamit sila wheelchairs. Maybe wa sila tiil, or maybe wa sila ikuan, wala something mga fairness. So which is limited to W1 class athletes. Limited lang yung para sa ilaha. Ano ng mga atleta. So recurve and compound events are held with W2 and ST athletes. When we say ST athletes, pero mga athletes may impair, pero makatindog sila. Pwede sila mapukulang sila, anak. So makatindog yan sila. So shooting recurve and compound bouts respectively. While athletes competing in W1 events can choose which of the 2 bout types to use. So as you can hear, di ba, as you can see, ang W1, pwede sila makabot kung silang gamiton. Kung aka sila suit na po na gamiton. Okay, next. Okay, sa para-athletes natin itawag na open. Okay, Miss Sirada, can you read? What are the open athletes?
Athletes usually have an impairment in either the top or bottom half or one side of their body.
Okay, as you can see, di ba, maklaro mo siguro na ay mga athletes nga disabled sila dito sa ubos. Or na ay disabled sila dito, which is, or paralyzed sila, dito kaliw ng pikas kamot, bukol sila, or sa right. Okay, so wala siya ang klase sa mga athletes, which is tawag sila open. So karon ako ipakita ng video.
And it's my absolute pleasure, having witnessed everything here with representatives from the World Archery Association, everything was above board and accurate, but not as accurate as Matt's shot, which is setting a new Guinness World Record for the furthest accurate distance. It's my pleasure to declare you officially amazing.
Sweet! Woo! Thank you very much. When I first hit that shot, because I had been practicing for a half an hour and I was struggling to hit the target. I mean, I shot probably 30 arrows or so at least and couldn't hit the target. And when it actually came down time to do it, I just knew. I knew it was going to happen. I shot. I didn't hear it hit the target. And when he said booyah, I was like, yeah! I mean, because that was insane. No one has done that before. And to do something...
So may proceed na ba sa atong PowerPoint? Wait lang. Sorry guys. Okay, so mauto siya ang video akong ipakita sa inyo. No? Mauto siya si Matt Statman. Okay, so natin gamay na trivia about sa iya. So Matt Statman from United States who was born without arms. Kita mo sa inyo, wala siya mga bukton, kailan yung gamit. And draws his bow with his mouth while holding it with his feet. Received a Guinness World Record in 2015. What for? So, 2015, dugay-dugay na siya, no? So, nahimo siya Guinness World Records because he is the world's longest accurate shot. So, nakuha niya, world's longest. Imagine, wala siya kamot hatilan gamit pero world's longest accurate shot ang ilang na-hit. So, he hit a target at a distance of 310 yards, or equivalent of 283.464 meters. So the previous record was 219. Imagine, sa una 219 ra ang na-hit na accurate shot. So it is equivalent to 200 meters set by an able-bodied athlete. So same yapon sa iya. Okay, so next na ta. Karon human naman ta sa
Paralympics.
Paralympics. Anyway, sa mga sport ito,
For the disabled.
Archery.
Archery.
okay, so very good. Okay, next, proceed ka sa athletics. Kung sino nakita, so based sa image na yung background. Anyone? Okay, raise your hand. Sige, Mr.
For my
Kaibigan.
observation about sa slide, mga runners which is disabled sa mga feet.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kaibigan. So, wala siya, no? Sakto yung based sa ito nakita, wala sila mga tiil. Kung ganihan, si Mr. Statsman, wala siya kamot, kani sila, wala sila tiil. Then how possible, how come nga makadagan din sila?
Yeah.
So, diha to siya itakto, nga no? Kaya nga po yung nabuhaton ng sports. Okay, now, what is athletics? So athletics has been contested at every summer Paralympics since the first games in 1960s. Dugay-dugay na. Siguro ka na tao mo ba sa inyo?
Wala pa gid
Isa
sa
ka.
pati ako mama wala pa nang tawaan.
Grabe na kadugay, no? So men and women from all disability groups compete in the sport. So pwede siya disipin sa men or women. So some athletes use wheelchairs or prosthetic limbs and compete in the respective sport independently and under their own power. So atong ganyan natin kita sa image, mo to siya gitawag og prosthetic nga limbs nila. So naputi mga racers or race kuan nga gagamit sila wheelchairs kay wala pa sila. Ato siya ako siya discuss sa inyo later pakita. Okay, Dara. So pwede mo basaan. Anyone? Sige lang si Sir Cabigon. Next, isa pa. Okay, Mr. Bagay na. Pwede ikaw ba? Okay, sa imo, medyo taas-taas.
Okay na.
Kamaon.
So in the 60s sports classes, the athletes may use a prosthesis designed for competitive use. There has been a remarkable progress in research and development into such aspects of prosthetic leg design as materials and shapes, and athletes may adjust them to suit their own impairment as long as they conform to the rules. However, such prostheses are stiffer than you might imagine, so athletes must develop enough muscle, strength, and technique to withstand the bouncing force transmitted to their body by the prosthesis and utilize that energy to compete successfully. Those factors translate into differences in the race times of athletes who are using the same model of prosthesis.
Diba? So, thank you so much.
Meron may pangutana.
Sige.
Kanyang how come makadala sila kung saan nila pag-balance? As we observe the image sa binuhang specification saan nila pag-balance?
Okay, no, so based sa gibasa ni Mr. Bagay na ganiha, kanang prosthetic limbs, actually customized na siya para sa ilahang mga athletes. No, so siguro makaingon ta kung tanong ko naman no. Sa pag-balance, actually mo bounce mo gid na siya. O dili siya yung mga conscious steady lang. So murag naa siya yung force nga gigamit ana nga prosthesis limbs. For them to be able to run gihapon og maayo, makadagan sila og tarong. So imagine, kani siya nga sa taas nga picture, kana siya visually impaired sila. In which kinahanglan sila og kanaang
Backup.
guide nila. Guide runner ang tawag kana nila. Then sa kanipod, mo tigiingon gagamit sila process gihimuan gid sila gihimuan sila customized prosthetic limbs aron sila maka-perform gyud sila anang nga sport. Okay, actually siguro before mga runner gina sila or siguro ilagay ng passion or hilig na nila nga mag racing ana. So next. Okay, Dara. So, mo sila ang mga atleta or para-athletes nga gagamit og wheelchair. It is because impaired sila sa bottom. Sila yung mga, sila tiil. Concord sila, another term. So, wheelchair classes use a special wheelchair developed specifically for high-speed racing. So, mo siya kitawag og high-speed racing kanang gagamit sila ng wheelchair. Diba? So, although the chair must have at least 3 wheels, it cannot incorporate windbreaks, gears, or other equipment, and it must be operated solely by means of the athlete's upper body strength. So, gagamit sila yung strength. Diba? So, ingon diha, it cannot incorporate windbreak, in which sila mismo ang mag-buot kung saan nila pagpaagi nga ma-break nila ilahang wheelchair. So, for example, his or her arm strength. Parts can be customized to accommodate the athlete's impairment and build as long as they conform to the rules. So mo na sila yung ana ilahang pamaagi sa ilahang pag-appeal ani nga sports. So with all the strength gina sila, especially dito sa ilahang upper part. Okay, kung hinay sa weak ilahang dito, of course, wala possibility nga ma-build sila sa ilang game. So each of them, they actually undergo training. Same yapon sa normal ng mga athlete. Undergo na sila training para maka-perform sila og tarong sa sports. Okay, so nalo po kayo pakita nga video. So, kano siya nga video 1 minute, 1 sport, ano siya. Don't worry, kaya naman siya sa title. So, ako siya masakapan. Okay. So, yeah. this actually held Tokyo 2020 na siya. Ano ako, 1 minute, 1 sport. Okay, wait. So, mo siya kayo ganyan, no? Ano siya nagtawag ng mga visually impaired sila nga mga para-athletics. So, in which, sila ato silang direction kung wala mo guide sila. So, what if ma-fun sila, mabangga parang sila, or ato sila in direction. So, may possibility nga makaan sila sa game. So, ano siya, in the sports class for vision impairments, athletes are allowed to compete with their guide runners. So, guide runners are very important for them. Diba? So, nabasa ninyo? Okay, balik forward na ko. Okay, have been customized according to their physical features. So, yung anak ako, ano mga taga-Olympics, inuwan sila equipments na magamit nila, which customized para sa ilaha. So, kamita mo itong short video. Okay, so that's it. No, so makaimundot na madilig yung para sa ilahang yung aning ng mga sports. Pero, tungkol sa ilahang eagerness, tungkol sa ilang eagerness, ilang determination or passion or love sa sport, wala imposible mabuhat yun ang ila. Of course, by the use of the assisted mga devices or equipment yun ang ginagamit. Okay, so at the Tokyo 1964 Paralympic Games, wheelchair track racing was introduced as a Paralympic sports with athletes competing using standard wheelchairs, weighing 7 to 18 kilograms. Medyo bugat-bugat siya, no? So, over distances no more than 200 meters. Wheelchair racing is now firmly established at the Paralympic Games with competed sprint distances of 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters. In the middle distances of 800 meters and 1,500 meters. Sa long distances, na siya 500 meters and 5,000 meters, 10,000 meters, and relay races of 4 times or 100 meters and 4 times 400 meters, as well as the wheelchair marathon featuring the road race. So, next meeting ato siya itapo about na silang mga meters and about silang racing. Okay, so next. So what is the main purpose sa athletics? So the aim of classification in para-athletics is to minimize the impact of eligible impairments and the outcome of competition. In general, athletes with impairments that have a similar impact on sports performance will compete in the same sports class. So pwede sila makakompete ni hapon. Pwede sila nasa kalaban ng mga normal athletes lang. Lagi pa yung ano category or na yung category nga same. No? So para-athletics ka pa naman lang makakompete. Okay, so wala na ba yung pangutana sa akong report? Or do you have any additional questions? Wala na. So makaingon tanong nga, grabe ang Ginoo. Kaya nga no, even though na yung mga tao nga, adunay disabilities, they can able to perform also kung sige perform sa mga tao. Diba? So dito nato sila i-judge din mo, ay kuan na siya, dito siya kahimuan na. Diba? So, una, dito to kaya kuan ang binuhat sa akong Ginoo. Which is, maayo kayo siya sa tanan. Beneficial siya. So karon, ano lang po ihatag na assignment para sa inyo ha? Okay, so you have to list down other than Paralympic sports and its definition. Hindi siya kuan next meeting na to. Okay, so dito mo sa front, i-explain mo saan siya sports. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you class sa pagpaminaw.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
sir.
sir.
I hope ano mo nakatunan sa akong report ito tapos sa inyo makakasalaw. Okay, so before our class ends, of course, kung gisugdan na to siya sa opening prayer, ato pa siya sugdan sa closing prayer. So, who would like to volunteer for the closing prayer?
Shari.
So, Miss Shari.
Shari, sir.
Shari.
Siguro siya sa iyong pan So, pwede si Pan na lang. Mr. Reyes na lang.
Siya man nag-open. So, siya
Okay, so ano mo man atong class?
So let us pray. So thank you for this day, sir. Thank you for sa among nakatanan, sa among knowledge na nakatunan o nalugangan ang knowledge about sa imong report. Then thank you kaayo, sir, nga bisag inganin ta or inganin baka atong sitwasyon, nagpadayon gyapon ta sa atong school.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Reyes. Okay, thank you, class, and goodbye.
Goodbye, Sir Anton.